Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
We are talking Christmas. Obviously, it's coming up during summer. You know, the big festivities are going to happen, the big parties. And my cousin is dating this girl. He's dated her for about 5 months or so. Okay. And now he's invited her to the Christmas. And I guess it sparked this debate amongst family members of, is 5 months a little too short to invite to some, an event as big as Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, you're meeting the whole family generally. There's a lot of, family chat. You're seeing a bit of an insight into who they are.
It's a big leap.
It is.
Yeah, I guess, you are seeing the interpersonal relationships of Christmas, but I don't know, I was thinking about it. I was talking to a few family members, and I think, personally, 5 months is fine. I think I would probably say 3 months is the minimum.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 months?
That's 12 weeks. That's nothing.
Barely dating.
I think 3 months
You're
is
still
fine.
finding out things about them at 3 months.
But here's the thing as well. Christmas in our family is quite loose. It's not like a strict thing that, it's so crazy to, it wouldn't be crazy to just bring friends to it or, someone you've been seeing for a little bit. And I think 3 months is okay.
Yeah, okay. See, for me, I wouldn't dare bring someone to my family Christmas. Dysfunctional as all hell. And if my mum's boyfriend has anything to do with it, we end up with a cold meat spread.
But if it's, it might be
It's
dysfunctional.
awful.
I don't want to know what that means.
It's so sad.
It might be dysfunctional though, but they'd still be quite loose and chill with you bringing someone. It's just up to whether you want to expose that
then we're
person
all
to your family.
sitting around in silence. I'm staring at my sister. She's staring at me. We're both thinking, what are you doing here?
So how long, though, do you reckon you'd have to be dating someone to get that invite?
I reckon, I think a year needs to be on the clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
A year is huge. See,
A
Taylor
year goes so quick.
Taylor for Workday, we discussed with her yesterday. She said, strict Italian family, they're hell-bent on at least a year. Even that's pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas is pretty sacred in my family. Every Christmas not for the last few years because of COVID and everything, but we always every year go up to Port Vincent in the York Peninsula because my grandma lives there, and the whole family will sort of congregate there for Christmas so our grandparents don't have to travel.
So it's a big ask, I guess, to drive that far with you. It's like a big day then.
It's about 2 hour drive from Adelaide. So one, there's the commitment of being 2 hours away. What happens if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
And two, I mean, just no one has really ever brought partners. It's always because we usually stay up there for a few days as well. So it's a big ask of someone. I would say it'd have to be at least maybe 2 years.
See, that's different though. I guess that would be 2 years for you because you are staying up there. That's a stay. That's a little holiday. You're not just doing the one and done Christmas lunch and you go back home.
Yeah, even if it was just a Christmas lunch, back when there was my mum's mum was still alive, we would do Christmas lunch at her house in Prospect and then go up to Port Vincent. But I would still say 2 years to get invite to that lunch.
2 years.
Even for me, I would hate to be invited to someone else's Christmas because I don't really like Christmas myself. So it's like, do I really have to go make small talk with your bloody cousin Jimmy?
Man, I'd love that.
I love Jimmy.
I think I like Christmas enough that I could be, if someone said after 2 weeks of seeing them, they'll come to Christmas, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Is there going to be presents?
More prawns, more ham, sounds good.
There's actually nothing like Christmas ham off the bone. It's
great, isn't it?
It's amazing. But we want to get the fresh fam involved here. How long till you invite a partner to Christmas?
Jeez, I wonder if anyone's popped the one night stand on Christmas Eve. Brought them the next day.
What a water shame that would be.
Someone says, never, my family is a disgrace.
I get it.
Is that Davo's number?
I can make jokes. You can't. No. There's another text here. It says, I was invited to Christmas with the parents 4 weeks after starting to date and 1 week after being official.
That's huge.
It's the most wonderful time.
It's such a funny thing as well because I remember one of my other cousins brought a girl that he'd been barely seeing to one of the Christmas get-togethers, and there's this picture in my nana's retirement home on a bedside table, and this girl is still in there after 10 years of this family picture. She was only around for 1 month, but now she's just stuck in that picture like a time capsule.
Do they scrapbook and paste pictures of new girlfriends over the top
just
each
cover
time?
it up.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to cross over to Norwood. We got Luke on the line. Luke, good morning. How long until you're inviting a partner to your family Christmas?
Good morning, guys and gal. Personally, 3 months.
3 months.
You get over all of the nitty-gritty stuff. You've gotten to know the person. I had this experience myself, and it was hovering around the 3-month mark. Christmas was approaching. Everything seemed to be going well. Did the introduction. Hello, here's yada yada, blah blah blah. The next day, I found out Nana went, yeah, don't like her.
Wow. Okay. And
It's the most wonderful time.
was this were you guys official 3 months, or you just been chatting for 3 months?
It was pretty serious.
Yeah.
It didn't last. It lasted a few months after that.
And
but that was a long time ago.
and what didn't Grandma like about her?
Oh, the personality just didn't gel. And seriously,
that little thing.
Later on, I noticed it. My mates were going, "Yeah, the right choice was made to end that one," and
Thank you,
good.
Nana. Hey, good on you, Luke.
Right.
Thanks for getting involved.
Cheers.
Sorry.
Hey, Josh over in Clemzig. How long until you're inviting a partner to your family Christmas?
Good morning, guys and girls. Look,
Morning.
in my experience, 24 hours.
24
Stop.
hours. Oh, have you done the one night stand?
Well, that's what it started off as, right? And she's originally from overseas, and so she had no family over, and I sort of was like, well, I've got a big, happy family. Do you want to come and join? And she's like, yeah. And since then, we've still been together ever since, and my family just fell in love with her almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's the most wonderful time.
I guess that's the true meaning of Christmas, though, isn't it? That's what you see in the movies, inviting someone that doesn't have any family over here and come shack up with mine.
It was a good feel-good moment, put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one, Josh.
Good on you, Josh. Thanks for getting involved.
Thank you.
Hey, we're going to end things here with Hannah in Adelaide. Hannah, let's wrap it up. How long until you're inviting a partner to your family Christmas?
Not me, but my sister. So she was seeing a guy for a couple of years, and they broke up. And he came to our Christmas Eve because we're German outside of the family.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
Christmas Day, then the next day, Christmas Day, the new partner was there.
Ooh, wait, so
It's the most wonderful time.
so let's get that
was a
straight.
lot.
So ex-partner on the Christmas Eve, then new partner on the actual Christmas Day.
Yeah, well, because the ex was in on the KK and everything, so he still had to get his presents. And
He's still tired.
Imagine if the ex got the new boyfriend in the KK.
Yeah,
That'd be awkward.
Who's Tim?
But also, imagine the family acting all nice to both of them, like everything's fine, nothing's going on here.
Yeah.
You're asking a lot of your family there.
Right, we're all pretty chill about it, so it was fine. But
I
Christmas
mean,
Day's a lot.
thanks for getting involved, Hannah. That's great. I couldn't imagine my family being chill about that.
Oh my
What a
God.
Christmas present. Your family thinking you're a swinger.
Put down the mic. What's in the podcast? What's in the podcast?
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
When you work in an office space, people bring parts of themselves from their home life that can really give you a bit of an inside look into who they really are. And this morning, boys, we've come in, we've gone to the fridge, and something has taken our breath away.
I was having good morning as well.
Yeah, me too. We were. And what we saw in there was a carton of eggs, all good, normal, kind of.
I mean, a little weird.
We don't have a stove or
We
anything.
have no way to cook eggs.
I
in
told
this
you can
office.
poach in the microwave. That's a tip if you want to know.
Never heard of that. That seems weird.
Boiled water in a mug with a little bit of white vinegar. Chuck it in for a minute 10.
Does it
Yeah,
actually work that well where it's kind of edible?
Yeah.
Doing it that way?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've never really done it that way, but it is bizarre that we have the eggs here. I mean, I feel like nobody else is MacGyvering their eggs in that fashion.
I also feel like there'd be a lot of people upset with someone if they're poaching an egg in one of the microwaves here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it gives you an inside look into who they really are.
Yeah.
Well, what we saw was a carton of eggs, but they weren't your standard free-range eggs. They were caged.
Yeah, we got to sleuth about this.
It's I don't know. As soon as we saw the cage, I just looked at it and I thought, who is bringing caged eggs
the hell?
to the office? Like, that is something you keep in the secret, dark recesses of your house.
Look, we understand cost of living crisis. It's tough out there at the moment, you know.
Save a couple of bucks.
Looking at a carton of eggs and seeing it's, $3 cheaper. Yeah, it's tempting.
It's tempting.
And you know what? Even if you do have to resort to the caged eggs, leave them at home.
That's just it. I mean, even if you are going to resort to the caged eggs, pop them in different packaging. There's a lot of options.
Ask for a recycled carton of free-range eggs.
I would respect a makeshift just cross out the cage and write free, or with a little Sharpie. At least you put in the effort to, conceal your identity as a caged egg eater.
What shocks me is that we've all seen that incredible documentary Chicken Run.
Yeah.
And we
Based
know
on true events.
we know how distressed they are out there. You cannot be doing that.
You know what is really hurt me to my core?
What?
Is that I have no idea who this could be.
Well, that's just it.
We've talked off air who we think, we've thrown a couple names around, but at the same time, everyone, I just can't see anyone here buying caged eggs.
Everyone's a bit of a suspect. Obviously, the Fresh Fam, don't know everyone we work with, but I think it's Gavin.
You know someone who's quite frugal and good with his money? Kale for the drive home.
Kale for the drive.
He loves a quick buck. He loves to cut costs.
I can end that argument right now, though. Kale for the drive home loves to eat out. I've never seen him he never cooks a meal at home. I've heard him talk about fish once, and we went on about it for a month.
Do you remember how much he talked about when he cooked that salmon?
Yeah.
And he was so proud of it.
Heard about it for a month.
Yeah,
all right, boys.
Salmon.
All right, boys, we've got a case here. Let's go find them.
All right, stay tuned, Adelaide. We'll make sure we find the caged egg bandit.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Hey, we need to have a chat because the Velo 500 obviously kicks off this morning, 8 a.m. The first race has already begun, of course.
Yes.
And that has caused some issues around the city. I mean, of course, we have these amazing events, which is fantastic, but then when we do have them, it does bank up the traffic.
Yeah, I guess Adelaide's such a weird city in the sense that we always have these festivals in that one spot, and that one spot is an absolute killer for just condensing the traffic around there.
Yes, well, it's not like we're used to the Adelaide 500 every year, right? You know it's coming, like Bartels Road is going to be closed off. And it does hinder a lot of people getting to work. The traffic gets pretty insane.
And I think here in Adelaide, we are quite lucky because traffic, I mean, yes, we do get a bit of traffic and it can be a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
But it's not like Sydney. It's not the big smoke. We are not used to being stuck and not getting everywhere within 25 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking of getting somewhere in 25 minutes, last night I was playing a game of mixed netball with a few mates, right? And it's hosted over at the Unley High School in the gymnasiums there. So I was in Prospect and I just decided, you know what, I'll check maps. I'll just see what time. The game was at 6, so I already knew there was going to be a bit of rush hour being 5, leaving around 5:30. Mm-hmm. It's a 25-minute drive, they reckon, to get there from Prospect. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give myself a little bit longer. I'll leave at, say, 5:15. So I get in the car, driving. Everything's kind of okay until I get to about Hackney Road.
Yep.
Things start to take a turn for the worse. Mm-hmm. And it's getting it's bumper to bumper, stop-start traffic. I'm sitting in line for about 10 minutes at one point on Hackney just to turn onto McGill. Get to McGill, free-flowing for a bit longer. And then as I get up towards around Port Rush Road, it's getting even worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've cut through some side streets. I'm like, I'll be cheeky here. Cut through some side streets, turn onto Port Rush Road. Everything will be okay. I get onto Port Rush Road and I've never seen traffic this bad in my entire life.
Oh, no.
I made it from where the start of the parade is to Burnside Village, which isn't far. I was in that line for 40 minutes.
Wow, 40 minutes.
Ooh, that is...
2 hours later.
That is heavy. You'd have all the netball guys, trying to call you up.
Yeah, well, it was a good thing everybody was late because of the traffic.
At least it's going to affect everyone.
Yeah.
And also, it gave you quality time to listen to Kale for the drive home.
Absolutely. But it did take me over an hour to get from Prospect to Unley High School. And I'm talking the border of Prospect. I was basically in the city.
Yeah, that's not good. That is Adelaide traffic at its peak.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's what Sydney people are scared of. They come here and they're like, geez, this is comparable,
No, not at all.
Maybe.
No, what we want to do is open up the phone lines right now. Maybe you're stuck in traffic right now, but we want to know how long is it taking you to get to work this morning?
Yeah, have a bit of a whinge. Go on, why not?
I'm going to head over to Michaela from Woodcroft. Michaela, are you in traffic right now?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. So as our roving reporter, whereabouts are you?
so I come out of South Road and I'm going through the sort of the Edwardstown Bunnings sort of block there, yeah.
Now, Michaela, how long have you been in traffic so far?
Well, I start at Wood Cross and I go down to Jerps Cross, so I've been driving for about 20 minutes now.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're heading to work at the moment?
I am, yeah.
So are you going to be late at this rate?
At this stage, no, but you know how South Road gets.
You certainly do.
Jeez.
But make it spicy. Sorry.
So, Michaela, is it stop-start where you are at the moment, or you got a bit of run?
No, stop.
Oh.
Michaela, did you say you're making it spicy?
Yeah, my check engine light's on and so is my fuel light.
Oh, no, baby. She's living on the edge.
Double whammy there.
Jeez. Hey, let's head over to Zora from Prospect. Zora, are you in traffic right now as well?
Actually, I've just parked.
Hey, you made your destination.
Congratulations.
How long were you in traffic
I know.
for?
I've been driving for about 40 minutes, maybe about 45 now.
And how long's your regular commute to work?
About 20.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Oh, we're doubling up. So
I've been darting through the side streets.
nice, Zora. Now, are you late for work at this stage?
Well, normally I'm there by now, but I'll be there pretty much on time.
Yeah,
Bang
nice.
on
You
time.
take your time.
Good stuff. Hey, thanks for getting involved, Zora.
I'm talking to you guys.
You're busy.
Thanks for keeping us entertained on the way.
Bless ya.
It is a good thing, isn't it, that if you are late, you can tell your boss that Velo is, eligible excuse, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. Hey, we've got Cara from Glenelg North. Cara, are you in traffic at the moment as well?
I am finally moving along King William Road after it being a parking lot for the last 15 minutes.
Oh,
Jeez.
Cara. So what have you been up to in there? You been listening to us or you been jamming out?
Of course I've been listening to you. My goodness.
And Cara, how far away are you from work at the moment?
Well, I'm lucky. I work in Unleashed. I'm a little bit, probably about 2 or 3 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
But my boss is used to me being late anyway, so that really doesn't matter.
So that's the hot tip. Just always show up late, and that's what they expect.
Is that your hot tip? That's your hot take?
All right. I get older. The Davo, Tom, and Callum podcast stays the same age.
Hey, this may sound surprising to a few people, but seeing as I talk on the radio for a living, but I'm not really a big talker, right?
Yeah, we know. There's a good 45 minutes in the morning. We get nothing but a glare.
Or breakfast time. When you eat, you don't talk. When you eat, you just you're just devouring that meal.
Look, I'm just really comfortable in silence. I'm pretty happy with my own thoughts, whether I'm in one-on-one or group setting. It really doesn't matter. I'm really happy just to sit there and not speak.
It's so true. I remember we went on a drive one day. There was 4 of us in the car. You were in the front with me, and then we had Callum and someone else in the back. And we were just listening to the music, Tom, because we're quite happy. And then you could just hear this.
Or I was paired up with also a big talker.
Yeah.
So it was a bad combination.
I think
to be in.
that we had a few glances in the front seat at each other, Dave. Just feel like,
Shut up.
please, God.
We're so comfortable in this silence, please.
Yeah, and I get told off by a few of you before, right? So like you said, when we go get brekkie together after a show, I don't speak at all when I eat because I personally, it's not because I'm like this, and the reason I don't speak when I eat isn't because of being comfortable in silence. I just don't see the point.
We know.
Right?
We feel it.
You have to, you ask a question, you have to wait for a reply because they have food in their mouth, or, you have to wait to reply because you have food in your mouth, and it just stumps the whole conversation. And then you have to eat heaps slower as well. Your food gets cold. It's all just silly to me.
Yeah, a bit of a rant.
This is so funny. This is just really telling who you are,
I
Tom.
do remember someone said to me, someone that sort of came into our lives recently said, oh, geez, Tom doesn't really talk when he eats, does he? And it really went over my head because I was like, I've known Tom 10 years, 11 years. And I was like, I just stopped thinking about it. I just don't talk to him when there's a meal in front of him.
I could get away with it at school pretty well because I'd just sit there and eat my sandwich and you're a
big
group
groups.
of 10 people. You don't have to speak.
You can lay low for a bit.
It was easier to not speak. In fact, people appreciated you
Restaurant with your parents as well. They're doing the talking. You're just there.
I'm just along for the ride. Give me my salt and pepper squid, Mum.
So what's happened, Tom?
Well, You know what's happened, Davo, because the other day I got an intervention by you two and our content director, Sophie, about this not talking while eating and just like not really talking in general. And during this intervention I was getting from the three of you, I started getting flashbacks. There was like this repressed memory and from the back of my mind of a 15-year-old going on their first movie date.
Oh, God.
What happened was when I was like 15, I went to the movie. I took this girl to the movies for the first time, like going on a date. And as we get there, you know, we're talking, everything's fine. We get into the movie, talking through the trailers and whatnot, because, you know, whatever. Movie starts. I'm sitting there watching the movie.
Yeah, you're fully enthralled, no doubt.
I'm enjoying the movie. And then, you know, she's sitting there watching the movie. I think there was a few comments and I was just sort of brushed them off because I'm like, shh, it's movie time.
You gave her the one finger up, the single index finger and a shush.
Girls love that.
So then the movie ends. We go our separate ways. We both catch a bus home, and you know she's been a bit cold to me ever since. And I'm like, hey, have I done something wrong? Like, what's going on? And she's replied saying, I just can't believe you didn't speak to me once throughout that movie.
That's crazy.
And you shushed me 7 times.
That's crazy, isn't it? What's the girl's issue? Like,
okay.
Imagine her inviting, like, oh, sorry, I +1 you to my grandpa's funeral, but you didn't play footsies with me. I'm really upset. Why didn't you talk to me all the way through that?
If you're inviting me, if we're going out for food or something, yeah, okay, I'll put in the effort. I'll eat I'll speak while I eat and whatnot.
You'll try.
But if we're in a movie, I don't want to speak to you because one, everyone else finds you annoying in the cinema. 2, I don't want to then have to answer your questions when you ask, who's that? What's going on? Why are they here? Because I've been paying attention. You've been trying to talk crap to me. Don't speak in movies.
As well, I'm sure you were eating popcorn, so it's double whammy if you really didn't want to speak.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Can I ask you a favour would have to be one of the more tense things to come out of someone's mouth.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that line that comes out of someone's mouth where you're sort of sitting there and you're like, I should say yes to be a good friend, but you don't know what the favour is. They're obviously withholding it from you because they know it's a bit cooked.
No one ever asks you straight out, hey, can you do this for me? It's like, hey, can I ask you a favour? And that's when you know, oh, it's going to be something big.
Or even worse, they'll start with, what are you up to today? Before the favour. So then you're trapped into this. Oh, nothing.
You're like, nothing. Oh, boy, you want to hang out? Like, nah, actually.
No, classic technique to really rope you in. And yeah, like we said, as soon as they say, you know, it's something that's a bit, you know, it could be a bit of a struggle. And this happened the other day. A friend hit me up and he said, can I ask you a favour? And I was like, all right, sure.
Oh, God.
Were you already in conversation? Did you have the option to like choose to ignore it for a few minutes?
Put my phone in airplane mode. I thought about it. But so he said, can I ask you a favour? I said, yeah. He's half blind and he lives up in the hills. So it was just more of an inconvenience to come down to the city and get this stuff and then, you know, travel all the way back up in an Uber. Yeah. So he pretty much wanted me to grab the stuff, put it in a car, send it back up the hill and everything. And I was like, you know, that's fine. He hasn't really told me what stuff it is.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, you're going on to go pick something up, put it in Uber, send it up to the hills.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, it's quite the favour already, isn't it? Because you're going to have to walk around and acquire these bits and pieces, right?
Was it all ready for you? Like, could you walk into the shop and be like, I'm here to pick up for...
pretty well. So, but like... It sounds easy. It sounds like, yes, you can go pick it up and it's very easy. But wait until you hear what actually it was.
Yeah, you did ask me yesterday what they were, and I said, I don't know, like steak sanger. Yeah. What could he possibly want?
So he has requested, he said, hey, mate, you know, I know it's a bit of a hassle, but do you mind getting this stuff? He wants his eye drops, one, from the pharmacy.
Okay.
So I've got
Fair enough.
I've got to take get his prescription and, you know, like flash that. And I wasn't sure how that would work either, if I was allowed to just get someone else's prescription or if I'd have to like pretend to be him.
No.
Just one eye shut.
I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Stumbling in the place. But so it was the eye drops. And then he lays on me as like, hey, mate, as well, do you mind picking up 22.5 kilos of plaster for his arts and craft project? So he's like, you have to go to this jeweler shop, which is on the second floor of like Gawler Place or whatever.
Oh my God.
So I've had to go up this elevator, and then I go up. It's this little shop, and the man's like, "Oh, here it is for you." So it's all, like I said, it is all there for me to pick up. I look at the bag. It was heavy as. It was one of those I had to pick
heavy?
up.
About 22 and a half kilos?
Pretty much. I had to pick it up with two hands. You know, do a proper squat position and then carry it onto the elevator, carry it down Rundle Mall, this heavy-as bag of plaster.
And that's just it as well. Don't forget, this is all by foot. This is all by foot. Callum is trotting around the city with 22 kilos of plaster and some eye drops.
And I love my mate's recommendation of how to do it. He was like, I recommend you get the eye drops first, mate, because the plaster's going to be so heavy. You don't want to be carrying the plaster to the chemist because it's going to be an inconvenience.
No kidding.
Thanks for the tip. It was already inconvenient enough to carry this thing down Rundle Mall.
It's quite the favour.
What's the worst favour you've been asked to do?
Oh, I've got a story, but I did. Someone once asked me, they had a lump on their butt and they were worried about it. They said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on here," and asked me to check.
Yeah, okay.
And I checked.
Is this a male butt or a female butt?
Doesn't matter. And
I'd say it does a little.
It was a hemorrhoid.
Oh, so it was like in the middle.
But I had to see it. Like, get a mirror.
The third eye. Plenty of people getting involved on the text line. Got this first one here. My misso made me unclog the toilet at our heritage building home. It was a hard few days on the relationship.
Jeez, yeah, that's not a good one.
No. That's not it. How you look
That'd be real shitty work.
Your bedroom eyes after that. You're just like, I just can't do this anymore. What about this text here? It says, my friend was terrified of a mouse in her house. She asked me to come over and get rid of it. It was insulting to be the rodent mate.
Yeah, the rat killer. Who in your contacts is rat killer?
Who will come over and get rid of this mouse?
Oh, John.
Someone said here, my girlfriend asked me to build her grand's wardrobe. She full flirted with me, rubbing my shoulders while I was setting it up. She would have been a good 80 years old.
The grandma was flirting with.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that my mum or?
Got another text here. Yeah, so I'm studying medicine and a mate had some issues in the nether regions. Asked me to take a look. It was a bloody mess. Never thought after 15 years of friendship I'd be doing that to/for him.
Oh, no.
That's
More details.
That's the price you pay as a student doctor.
Oh, podcast my podcast. Oh, podcast my podcast. Oh, podcast my podcast.
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
After a big night on the naughty waters, sometimes you look for something to sober you up.
Yeah.
You know, someone might go
Fast
a
food.
Powerade or fast food. You know, coffee, water. My mum loves a sugary cake.
Yeah,
She'll be
okay.
so angry that I said that on air.
Well,
I do not.
What's that a secret?
I don't know. She's a bit funny about those things.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it is. Well, over in the US, they brought out a brand new drink that promises to cut alcohol levels within 30 minutes, and it's called the Safety Shot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So they're calling it a functional beverage, which, like I said, is meant to rapidly reduce the blood alcohol content, improve brain function, all within 30 minutes. And it has 4 mechanisms of action that target your central nervous system, and it attacks all things that alcohol impairs, plus a 5th feel-good component, which no other drink has claimed.
See, in my head, I'm a little skeptical about this one. I feel like it's the same kind of myth of if you're already drunk and then someone's like, oh, have a big meal, have a big burger or something, it still isn't going to affect the amount of, blood alcohol content in your blood. You know, it's not going to do anything. It seems like it's a bit of a myth or a placebo.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I've just been doing a little bit of reading up about this safety shot as well. And it's over in America. So they did a bit of a study with some focus groups. And I'm just going to read it out here. It says participants' blood alcohol content was measured using a breathalyzer. They were then asked to drink 6 ounces of the safety shot. The researchers found that the participants who drank the safety shot saw their blood sugar reduce 7 times quicker than a control group. And Dr. Glenn Wilson, the Chief Scientific Safety Officer of Safety Shot, said the results of this volunteer study clearly demonstrate the safety shot reduces blood alcohol content. in about 30 minutes at a much faster rate.
Geez, I mean, it does say it speeds up the body's metabolism of alcohol and it protects the stomach lining from further absorption.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept, isn't it? But I do think, have you ever been out with a mate and you're like, dude, you need to have some water or like you need to just chill out or something?
Whenever you're told to have a water when you're on a night out,
you
it's like
become
the
a
biggest,
pest.
Yeah.
You become the worst pest ever. And I can imagine trying to shove this down someone's throat. It'd go like this.
You have to keep drinking, like you said, remember? It will stop, Professor, it will stop. But only if you keep drinking.
Don't make me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, that is Dumbledore on the piss on a big night.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
I've never had TikTok, right? I've never downloaded it. I've always known that if I do, it'll be a bad time for everyone because, like everyone, I'll get addicted to it,
Yeah, and you're bad enough with the Instagram Reels.
But that's the thing, Instagram Reels is the exact same.
Exactly right.
You're still hooked on that and send everyone things on Instagram Reels.
We always know when Tom's gone to the bathroom because we'll get 5 Reels.
But that's the exact reason why I stick to Instagram. It's an app that I already have, and I can go to a few Reels once they get stale much quicker, I feel, than TikTok, right? TikTok, you only have the videos. Instagram, you can go do other things on it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll stick to that. I'm not going to download TikTok. But for someone that's never had TikTok, am I sick of bloody TikTok?
Okay.
Right? There's a new bloody idiot on there every other week, right? And there's this, the latest one is this woman who's come out and said, this is the biggest red flag if your boyfriend fails the orange pill test.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, it is a common thing on TikTok to just get all these weird trends, and especially dating ones, and, they come out of the woodworks and, get quite popular.
And a lot of it is just people going, this is what I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not accredited people by any means.
No, they're not doing any sort of survey, no research. They're just like, this is my personal opinion on the matter. And this is the most stupid one I've come across yet.
Ooh.
It's called the orange pill test. And basically, what she's come out and said is the orange pill test is basically asking your partner to do something that you're perfectly capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
However, you just don't want to do it.
Yeah, okay, right.
So it would be like tying your shoelaces, like asking your partner, hey, can you get down and tie my shoelaces? Like one of the most demeaning things you can do to another
it's
adult.
It's not as helpful.
No,
if you're in a short skirt.
I think, I know, but it's such a weird one because you're saying with the orange pill test that it's such a simple thing, and if you ask your partner to do it for you and they do it for you, that's a good thing. I'd say it's negative if your partner's being like subservient and like being like, I'll peel an orange for you. When I would turn around, I would turn around and be like, peel it yourself.
Yeah, we know.
So basically,
we're aware.
Basically, she's come out and said, for whatever reason, I hate peeling oranges. Is it because of my nails? Is it because I don't like the citrus? I don't know. She just doesn't like peeling oranges. So she'll ask her partner, hey, would you mind peeling this orange for me?
Yeah, okay.
Right? And they either respond with, absolutely not, peel it yourself, you're an adult woman, you can do that.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, of course, no problem at all, I'd love to peel your orange.
Sometimes it doesn't need to be a power play though, you can literally just be like, this is a nice thing for me to do for her. I know you're taking the defense route of being like, no, you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
But if you go, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. This is a nice gesture. It is a green flag.
Where does it stop, though? Where does
it
stop?
Thank you very much.
Open the fridge for me. Turn the TV on.
Sorry, Dave, I'm going to write something on the whiteboard. Can you take this lid off my whiteboard marker?
Oh, come on now.
It's the same thing. It's
not
the same thing.
My cousin in South Africa, her partner's fairly short and she always gets him to get things from the top shelf to make him feel good. And he does, says, I can't reach it.
Well, so he's struggling to reach. That would make him feel way worse, surely.
No, but he's doing it for her.
He's tall, right?
He's short. They're both short.
Oh, what's wrong?
Sorry, babe, let me get a step ladder.
A poor bloke.
That's like watching, a worm struggle to get out of your grip or something.
Just a human-sized worm trying to get something out of the cabinet.
Yeah, get something from the top shelf. Higher.
I think the orange test would backfire, though, because, like I said, if someone said peel the orange for me, I would think, who am I dating that can't even peel an orange?
It's absolutely ridiculous, and we need to stop these trends and these TikTokers at once because it is getting out of hand. Where will it stop?
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.